Okay, that's better.
All right. Turn on this other light.
Yeah, let's give us a good framing so people can have a good
Get the
shot
wall
of
up.
you.
Look like me upside down.
Yeah, you got a sideways shot going on there. That's better.
Mhm.
Let's give the people a couple minutes to come in.
All right. I think I'll eat this then.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's the look.
All right.
I'm gonna give them a couple minutes so they can jump in.
All right. No problem.
Not a couple minutes, just a few, like a minute or so, so people can get in because I see them coming in. Folks, welcome and share the link as much as you can, please, because I'm sure Mr. Crawford has a lot to say tonight.
Nah. That
Uh,
depends on you for guide me, you know?
no, we're gonna talk about things that affect the business and
Mm-hmm.
how the business can grow more than animal care and anything. That will leave those for the professionals. I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not versed on taking care of them. I'm learning every day, just like you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the business side of it is where I want to jump into and how we can help to grow the sector. First, let's
Mm-hmm.
start. Let me start off by thanking you. And you say it's 2 years this
The
week.
13th of April, yeah. 13th
It's
of
two
April.
years since you purchased your first goat.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
And let's put it. Let me ask you. So it's 2 years now. How do you
Mm-hmm.
feel about it?
I feel very excited by it because I see the prospects, I see the possibilities. As you know, with anything that you're learning, we call it in marketing the long run cost curve. You lose while you learn because
Yes.
it's from losing you're learning.
Hmm.
You never looked at that, you never thought of that, you never seen that before. But then you can see the prospects, you can see the possibilities, you see the market exists, you see the taste exists, and I'm hopeful that once I become more closer to perfect, then there's large profits to be made.
So I know you've been through your learning pain, trials and crashes and everything. So what would you have done different, knowing what you know now?
All right. Well, firstly, I would have bought less votes initially.
Hmm.
I started out, as I said, the 13th of April, I bought my first goat. But then in my first 3 months, I think I bought like 40 or 45
Yeah.
other.
Hmm.
And by time a year, I was buying like about 90 goats or 80 goats. So now that I look back at it, you can't breed all of them at the same time, etc. And to learn, I would have gone in smaller because I've lost about 30 kids, as I tell the people on the little Facebook site,
Yeah.
the last kidding season, just not knowing what to do with so many kids. So I'd have grown more by investing in a fodder bank and other aspects of the business more than the animals
Yeah.
initially up front. So I would have changed that for sure.
Okay. So now that you're, I would say, knee deep or waist deep in it, right? What do you see going forward? How are you gonna change what you're doing for the next breeding season or the upcoming breeding season or what is going on now, what are
Right.
you gonna change in your system to make
Well,
sure
now
that you don't?
we stagger breeding, for example. So
Hmm.
we now breed 60 at a time, at a month.
Yeah. Hmm.
So we do 15 per week. So we have
Okay.
staggered that breeding and kind of have that on a rotation. We're taking more records so we know when the goat's supposed to have a baby, when to transfer him into a kind of a mothering system, which we are putting a policy of him a month before birth. Some of which
Yeah.
we have heard from people like yourself watching the shows, seeing the best fit and the best circumstance. So we start putting them in a confined space a month before, and then we will see how that outcome give them some concentrate within that period as well, and not just letting them out to go and eat. So we have changed that. And we have some persons, Khalil, and some other persons, Dr. Young, who has helped us to kind of write a kind of a manual of how to operate, because what a person understand about when you got big, you can win big, but you can lose big. I mean, when you have a
The
worm,
bigger you go, the bigger the risk.
yeah. So you can
Yeah.
win big, but you can lose big. So when
Hmm.
you have a worm infestation, it's hundreds of thousands for 400 animals.
Yeah.
It
Hmm.
might not be a bigger hit if it's 20 animals, but for treat that. When you have is it ticks or flea or whatever it one
Yeah.
name,
Ticks,
or
mites, flea, all that.
mites,
Parasite,
with
external parasites. Yeah.
right external parasites like mange, it
Hmm.
become an expensive venture because of the amount that you have you know.
Hmm.
So prevention then become even more important. And we put in our king grass fodder bank. So far we have 2 acres, and we're looking to put in another 2 acres soon, just to make sure we have feed. And we have also bought a silage machine, silage packer.
Hmm.
We are looking to just being able to store and to just to do that. So those are some of the changes that we have made just to ensure that we don't have another outcome like this, because I have found that the nutrition is of utmost importance. And so
Yeah.
yeah. So we put
Feed
in.
equal breeding.
Well, that me I learn, especially I was watching some of your people and the man in my show is a feed, but there's a at the Facebook site, progressive.
Yeah, the man, them
um
just a lick up against you, so you can't call them Facebook group lick up. Them have about,
yeah.
them have about 4,000 members. You can't be
Yeah,
calling them
yeah,
thing
yeah,
lick up.
yeah, 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 yeah. Well, you don't know, say if I did a cow group, it possibly that big like a cow, so it's a goat group. So it's but no, I want to tell you, say every day me depend on it, every day just to learn, even from
Hmm.
people I make a complain or say, yo, this a happen to my goat. And then
Hmm.
3, 4 weeks time it happened to me. I mean, I say, yo, me just see that on the site. So it's something where great. I mean, it's something where helped me greatly as a
Hmm.
person new to animal farming, and I'm always on it. But these things have helped to teach me and helped me to question, because I mainly have employees, so I'm gonna really run it myself day to day. But it
Hmm.
helped me to ask the right questions.
Yeah,
So in a
like,
month
yeah,
if this happens,
if you were a regular visitor to the Facebook group, Progressive Small Stock Group, you will learn a lot. You learn
yeah,
a lot from other people's experiences, other people's mistakes, because a lot of people are very open
very
on that
open with
group.
them
Yeah,
criticism too,
the
but
criticisms and what happens to
but
them
also
and
with them
everything.
advice.
Yes,
And
exactly.
so I have been on it, and I've been learning, and I've been able to teach my staff too, even though they're
Hmm.
trained, one of them very well trained at case, but I can ask the appropriate questions.
Yeah,
If we're having abortions, could it be that, could it be that, could it be that, which I have seen on the thing, you
yeah,
know.
on the Facebook
So
group.
on the
Yeah.
Facebook, I've also made pastures, and I've
Hmm.
bought, based on your advice, the electric fence as well.
Electric fence. Yeah.
Yeah, so may
Yeah.
have
So
some
you
permanent.
gotta do some rotational grazing.
Right. So may have some
Mhm.
permanent 1 acre pasture, but then we still rotate them within those pastures.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's one.
Rotation grazing helps a lot with your worm situation, parasite
Mm-hmm.
management. You know what I mean? So hopefully they get a good grip of that and can do it properly.
But
So
as I say, it's enough money me invest. But had I been smarter or no more, would I invest in some of the facilitation aspects more than the animal? Because enough
Yeah.
time a man are going a farm and he just want more animal, because he feels that's where the profit lies. And maybe
Yeah.
the profit lie in the animal, but the losses lie in the system that you have.
But yeah, the
So
profit. Yeah, the profit may be the animal, but if you can't manage
the
the
losses is in the
animals, the
system. So
losses.
so
Yeah.
so the losses can cancel the profit if you don't have the
Exactly.
right system.
Yeah.
As I have learned. So
Hmm.
like even my shaft machine and those things. And then you need
Yeah.
bigger ones because you have a bigger farm.
Yeah.
So when me I use almost a ton and a half a day of grass. So we need a more sturdy shaft machine, you know.
Yes. Hmm.
So those are the
You need
things.
so yeah, you need one that cuts faster than the little one, right?
Right,
Right.
right. So when you buy
Be
for
there
your
all
animal
day.
and have the money leave now. And you know, yeah. So me that change that. Me that
Well,
put the
well,
systems in place and then
yeah, I
go
can
down.
appreciate your honesty on that. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Because a lot of people, to be honest, with you, a lot of people question it and say, "I hope he knows what he's getting into because he's gonna get hit hard if around you don't know."
Yeah, I'm a man like that still, he's a risk taker, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you have to be analytical in how you take risk or you'll go kill
Mm.
yourself.
Yeah,
But I mean I really do nothing small.
mm.
So as I say,
That's pretty
me that
obvious
still invest the same amount of money, but me that invest in a
in
structure
different
first,
areas.
in a
Yeah.
systems first, and
Hmm.
then grow my animals having had those systems. But now that me learn and think, me I try to catch up with those systems. Because even a tractor is a very important thing when you have all 400 mothers,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So
You need some form of motorized vehicle to move
right,
stuff.
because the
Sure.
amount of feed we have to carry, physical labor will never last to
Yeah.
carry that amount of feed. So,
Yeah. You need
so,
a
but
tractor or an ATV or something to move
yeah,
a
yeah,
trailer.
yeah. And even
So go
I
ahead.
built, I built more houses than I need. I build a house for 1,000 mothers. I
Hmm.
could have really invest in other aspects. But you see the things where you sit on the internet until you go in it and start doing it, you don't really know,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah,
Hmm.
but I've been very open to anybody who come to me for advice on my mistakes because a man shouldn't have to make them back again. And
Exactly.
if I was more engaging, I wouldn't have made some of those mistakes. But remember how I got into it. I got into it to just prove people wrong who were laughing at a proposal.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So
Yeah,
I wasn't in the island at the time, but I
right.
follow I follow the whole what's happening in Jamaica. And I remember actually in the group there was a big talk. Say, yo, they're giving away goat in Portland,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then I looked it up and see it was a political campaign thing. I did not take it serious, but I knew that from me wanting to be in goat business and actually we're starting a goat venture. I know how serious the goat business is. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you shouldn't joke with them things because people will think a joke you make because for the layman, goat is poor man thing and you don't want them
Mm-hmm.
they want them move forward if you give them a goat. But
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
understood what having two goat could in 6 months could be six goat could be whatever. So how did that happen for you? Explain to
All
the goat
right. So they
community
had
how that
this
happened.
election, right? Which is a
Hmm.
by-election. Whenever I'm going into an election, I try to put a manifesto together.
Hmm.
Right? Now, it is not the norm for a constituency if you have a manifesto because the party would have a manifesto and the
Okay.
constituency then basically use that. But I've
Hmm.
always tried to have a manifesto, and then worse, it was a single election. So therefore, there's no party manifesto because it
Yeah.
was a by-election,
By
only one
election, yeah.
team.
Hmm.
So in doing the research now, right, I came up and said, yo, we imported $2 million, $2 billion worth of mutton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the purpose mainly of curry goat, because lamb is a separate designation. So having seen this 2 billion now, we start to say, yo, okay, how can we become like the center then, if I was victorious, of replacing this importation, right? And what were the things that were necessary for that to be successful? And in doing my little Google research and calling the ministry and stuff like that, we found that grass, fodder, food was like a main thing. And Portland have like excess amount of grass because a lot of the banana fields have been given up and stuff like that. So I come now and say, yo, here what? Instead of giving a book voucher, which is a $2,000, because The norm for politics is to make sure you get enough people, even if it is insignificant. You just want to get enough. It's a numbers game. So a man get a $2,000 book voucher, can have $2 million and he want to get 1,000 people. You understand? But the book list is really $26,000. So to myself, say, yo, I'm going to instead give every seventh grader a goat to also transform this the perception of ownership. Because one of the things that keep back people like us, who never born into wealth or born into ownership, is that we don't understand the importance of ownership. You see, I can't give my pitney my work, but I can give my business. That means I can give him a start. You know what I mean? There's nobody who can say, yo, so me a police, make my son be a police. I have to go through the systems and become a police. But when me done with all of this and me make my mistakes and my character level, me can say to my son, say, yo, take this, run as fast as you can. So the concept of ownership among the children of slaves is very warped. It's like we cuss it. It's like we fear it. Fear ownership. We prefer rent or anything like that. Ownership is not a lifelong dream. Like almost American people, I say, yo, I want to own a home. And I look on that from him 7. You understand? We think it's not for us. So I wanted to train like all 11-year-old, 12-year-old into ownership and seeing what ownership can do. Every goat man knows, say, yo, as me have learned, if me have one goat and it breed, we can get 2, 3. You understand? And so by the time if you breed that set now, me have 3 goats, I give me 9. You understand? So I was saying, yo, if I give you in 7th grade, me not have to see you again, because you really could have make 60 grand every year from just having 2 or 3 from the one and then continuously breeding and expanding instead of get a 2 grand. Naturally, in politics, if you come with a proposal during an election, there must be a competing argument, because the man now make you come through and say, yes, you great or whatever. And the competing argument was that, yo, book is more important than vote and technology and computer. And that election passed, and we don't blame people, because me never know as much as I know now neither. But at the same time, I thought that ownership was a right route to go, instead of depend on me if you like it. If me only have 1,000 book voucher, it's the 1,000 when me like. The other 2,000 when me don't like, I will get left. So that is it. And
so let me ask you
when the whole Jamaica laugh,
when the whole people country laugh, including the diaspora, laugh and say, "Oh, this man I give people."
Yeah, man, it was a big joke.
Yeah, and so what people? So because you took offense to that, that's what pivot you into saying, "Okay, I'm going to show them that goat business is big business."
Yeah, well, remember, everything that you do have a direction and a distance. So what motivated the direction for me going about was me learn that this thing can be viable.
From doing the research before you do the
distance now was to say, me I show them, say, because it was a ridiculing, like them start goat man and things. So whether them did laugh or not, me they don't say, oh, if $2 billion give me, you want some out of it. You understand me? I say, so me they don't make up my mind, say, okay, I'm going out. So that is the direction.
And a real talk now, where you don't find them goat to get them?
No, well, the same, it's the way me do my goat now, or the same way me that go do it, that I would have a centralized system of mothers, and then now that central people initially would have been cutting feed and carrying it to the center. That was for them duty then, if for them child did have a goat. You understand?
Okay, so you were going to form a cluster up there. You were going to form
I remember you have a CDF from government. So each MP have $20 million to spend. You understand? So once you have that $20 million to spend, let's say we go like, we have 500 now or 400, right? Me not have the resource of government, right? But even EU and them food place, they also do community intervention from that aspect. So it might be that it would have been 100 kids at first because they were the 100 most needy. You understand? It might be a system where you take back one each time, but that was the intent. That was the intent. Now, when we start to do the buying of goat now, I say I couldn't get 1,000 mother if in one time. You understand? But there is nothing to suggest that any plan is one day. That's one of the problems with Jamaica have. Every plan is a day. You understand? And if you not come through tonight, you dash with that plan. So what me say is that if me did really do the mathematics and get a 200 mother then, right? I mean say, all right, we have this centralized system, and one of the kid belong to the child, whatever we sell it for as a centralized system. We
Yeah.
would have then now have 400 and a continue for growth. So eventually, if you look on down at Portland, we have 3 high schools, we look on 600 kids, children going to school. But the seventh grade would have a cohort of 200. So if you can say, all right, 50% get, that would have been a difference in 50% of people's life. So that's something that really tried, you know.
Okay, so the man them said them did a wait for this thing to kick off so them could have buy back the goat them when the people them say, yo, enough of that.
But always, because when I was in East Rural, you know, they tried with pig too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I give people pig and then say to them, say, yo, okay, when the pig have baby, me get back
Yeah.
1/3 of the amount of baby with the pig have. So the pig
Okay.
all have all 12 baby now, me I get back 4. I'm gonna get
Mm-hmm.
other people again, I'm gonna start again. And one man would have like the male
Mm-hmm.
and we call it male pig now, we don't even know, but one man would have that. So, but them in that where I was, they never have a lot of forage, a lot of grass. So I couldn't try that with goat. So I always look on the reality. So if I was running in Portmore, then I wouldn't come with goat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because that wouldn't have the necessary things like the feed and those things. But I'm glad I went because I find it and
Mm-hmm.
it contribute to my mortgage. You know?
No, well, you know, I mean, I know it's a big deal for somebody like you with your profile to jump in the business, and I, for one, didn't want you to fail, you to succeed big because we know say, oh no, come if you fail, and it's real talk. If you fail, you'll go back and tell your friend them say, yo, no money in that,
Yeah, exactly. And
and we're not gonna get no help.
you see what happened? Come is a high profile person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that means you either succeed in a public or you fail in a public. You get me? So,
Yeah,
like, sometimes when you hear some people, I mean, people fear to fail, but imagine failing on TV. You know, so if
yeah.
my thing should have flop, it'll come in a newspaper. But if it succeed, it'll come in a newspaper. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, you ever find say a whole lot of people come visit my farm, a whole lot of people ask me about it because he's a high profile person. And therefore the profile now come in the industry and the industry get a little more attention, positive and negative.
Yeah.
You understand? So
Mm-hmm.
so if I am able to succeed, I'm really a hope for myself, but also because I see the opportunity where this can do. You see, me have chicken first. That's the first thing I went into for
Let's talk
eggs.
about how's the chicken thing doing?
Well, you know, the hotel them kind of locked down now, so that I get a little squeeze. But we still
Okay.
expand because you see, who ready when the hotel them open back, and them are gonna get the market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you understand? So me I expand my pub them and all them things because me just always I look forward. So now
Mm-hmm.
we not sell as much as we used to, but also another 10 man kiss him teeth and choke him hand. So me want to be ready to get free market share when when that come back. So
Yeah.
so 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 that's what me I do. But you see, the problem with that chicken is that when the market not there, you kind of have to kill them because you have to buy feed every day.
Mm-hmm.
If you have enough grass, you might lose some weight, but you can also sustain a goat until the market come back.
Yeah.
And so therefore, one of the problem with people of lower income, sorry, going into chicken and pig, is the need to consistently feed them with money, right? And
Yeah.
I'm find say the goat now have that equal need if you have enough access to grass around, you know. Mm.
Yeah, well, there's many different ways to get the grass. You know, I mean, grass is a commodity where the neighbor can have a silage operation and you get grass, or a hay operation and you get grass. You don't
Mm.
have to depend on the two feed
And your
companies.
land, you know, if you have personal land
You
to
don't have
get
to
the
have
grass.
personal land, you have to depend on a
Mm.
feed company to feed the
You
animal.
kind of low. I don't know
And,
if I'm my thing or what.
you know, anybody can hear me. My signal I say it a touch red, but
Mm.
maybe turn up the phone. So
Yeah.
I'm saying with the animals, with goats, you don't have to really depend on the big
Purchase
feed
feed.
companies, yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
grains and
Mm-hmm.
them things, because
Yeah.
you can get
And them raise
grass or whatever.
prices very often. US and them thing is a
Mhm.
great contributor because a
Yeah,
lot of it is imported corn and stuff like that. So when a man have low income, I always know that me I learn this thing. I say, yo, but they're going at the goat thing than the chicken thing because it less fragile as it relates to feed costs, you know?
yeah. If people approach it in a systematic business way, then they can figure a way out and don't have to depend on, grain and all that stuff. So all right, so
Totally
let's
right.
so let's talk about the COVID situation now. How do you see livestock agriculture rebounding after this COVID thing come back? If you ever come back to normal or somewhat of a normalcy where businesses are opening, hotels are opening, all that stuff, full like the economy is coming back. How do you
Yes.
see agriculture playing a part?
No, well, a central part, because remember the world will always come back to normal. It might be a new normal, but it will come to something of them, but it will not always be down. That's just human
Yes.
beings. They don't stay
Yeah.
down forever.
Hmm.
You understand? So
Hmm.
even if everybody else decides, yo, who catch it, it will come back to a point where things are going to maximization of profit, which is the basis of business. See?
Yes.
So what will happen now is that in the initial stages, you're going to find that the recovery of the intermediaries, like the agriculture, are going to be slower because now you start to reinvest when they come back. Like, for example, simple example, me not put in a chicken into the hotel full because I not risk having chicken and egg and I not have nowhere to sell. But it takes
Yes.
21 weeks after that for my chicken to start lay. So there's going to be a gap between when the direct purchaser recover and when the agriculture man is able to catch up.
Yes.
You understand?
Hmm.
So those who have just start build a house, or those who have just start plant grass, or those who have just start buy animal, them are going to be behind the 8 ball because
Yes.
they have someone who already have house, like me already have cook, for example. You get me? I mean, I put
Hmm.
my systems into place. So I think that you ever have that reality. But I believe that most of our mutton is house consumption, most of local goat.
Yes.
When we do my mathematics, it's not
Hmm.
really like restaurant because the restaurant I look on price, and
Hmm.
that price is more the foreign mutton. So when we realize it's mostly Sunday dinner mutton, the local goat, right, is Sunday dinner is home purchase, buying from a local meat shop or cook at them yard. Or a man of a nine night, we should not get a little lick right now. Or a man of a party, we should not get a little lick right now. So those two outlets.
Deny the call, man. Taco to the audio.
So that could be the problem. 1 second.
Hmm. Yeah.
Why them people when them come in and not happen. Yeah, you hear me now?
Yes. 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 That's better.
All right, cool,
Yeah.
cool. We need to get a
Hmm.
phone just to do these things.
Or get
Yeah.
get an
So so
iPad
so
or
so
something. A
so when I
iPad
say the
because
COVID have
man.
affected some areas of consumption for month like night.
Yes.
You understand? The COVID has affected some areas of consumption like man we used to keep them party. But
Hmm.
equally, I think that more people being home, them are cook more meals. So
Yes.
therefore, the goat, in my estimation, from a marketing standpoint, is really home consumption more than restaurant consumption or hotel consumption, because price is a more important aspect to a business than a person who want quality and taste.
Yeah.
You understand? So through
Hmm.
the local goat taste better, I find say more of the Jamaicans who are cook for themselves, we want the local goat. So when we do my maths now, my king, I say if you have 400,000 households, let's say 50% can afford mutton, right? Because mutton is expensive meat. Tell my brethren the other day, said mutton I sell for $1,200 a pound. See, the man said that I want whole of chicken. See, so some people now go really eat mutton regular. See,
Yes.
but
Hmm.
the 50% of Jamaica have a Sunday dinner of either oxtail or mutton. See, at least once or twice a month. So when we look on it, if 200,000 house I cook £5 a month, right? We are looking on £1,000,000 a month
There you
of
go.
local goat demand.
Yes.
You understand? So
Hmm.
I mean, I think me, you, we not gonna reach this stuff now. So that's why I always encourage more people because it's not like them I come back school out of my mouth. I've never had goat when I
Yeah.
sell yet.
Exactly.
You know?
True. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
me
true.
never have go to even you because sometimes when I say, yo, we need some more go.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
understand? So to that extent, I think if we can organize this industry now, for more people start to come in and then it start to get the protection like what egg get or like what chicken get.
Hmm.
You get me? Then
And
now
how do
we
you
can
see
start to stabilize
you
the
and I,
thing and,
you and
get
I had a you and I had a conversation way back, maybe almost 2 years now. And I shoot this question at you before. How do we get the government, the system to recognize good business and give them a chance to cut into the import deal?
Big investors, government recognize big investors. That's just where politics is. That's where leadership is. That's where government is.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at the places that are big investors, them get government attention and government protection because big they have influence. They have lobby influence. In America, you have to go through some lobby rules. In Jamaica, you just
Mm-hmm.
fund the election. So it's big investors. So the more you get people with big investment, and the more government are going to listen and about put policies in place because they have that level. So when you look on chicken, for example, it have a high pro and a CB, a best dress and a CB as big investors. You get me? And by
Yeah.
extension, they are going to create more impact and more influence upon government. So the first way to get that is to have that power of money, big investors. The second way is to have the power of people, but people only have power when they're coordinated. One man with by himself is not powerful unless he have money. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So when a leeching step in a room, he's powerful as leeching because he have money. So it's not the man powerful now, it's the money powerful. It's the power of his money. If you lose it tomorrow, people start treating him just like how them treat regular people. You understand? But when 50, 80, 100 people come together now, they become powerful. And so government now become an attention to a group. That is, like
Because
you
they
say,
become a
entertainment.
voting bloc. Isn't that it?
The power of entertainment
Mm-hmm.
is unseen in Jamaica because they're so individualistic. But each of them is influential, But
Mm-hmm.
by themselves is not sufficient. You see, if the whole of them man they come in and say something, everybody will start move, and every government will start move if they're coordinated. So the effort without big investors who can be powerful by themselves and them individual interest is represented and it drop on our shoulder. Like how iPro activities drop on my shoulder as an eggman, or CB activity drop on my shoulder as an eggman. If we don't have that shoulder, that head for Japan shoulder, then we need a coordinated effort where our numbers become powerful. And so far, the group kind of facilitate that initial step towards coordination because at least we're in a space. We
Yes.
just haven't agreed upon what our priorities are and what the essential moves are. So those are the only two ways we impact government: by having enough money to influence it, or by having enough people to influence it.
So let me ask you: you're in government or the system. You're not
Yeah.
a you're not governing. You're not in the governing party, but you've been on both sides,
Mm.
right? What does it take besides the money, right? Do you look at a group of people as a voting bloc and listen to them?
If they're organized, because you see, if they're a voting bloc that don't vote together, don't act together, don't speak together, then they're not powerful. So them have to act together. Like when the hotel association come to a meeting, all hotels are saying the same thing. When the Jamaica Manufacturers Association come to a meeting, the Jamaica Manufacturers Association has come to an agreement, a conclusion. So therefore, those act as a powerful block because there's agreement, there's coordination. If I can divide and rule them, then they'll have no more power. So by extension, the thing. So when a man have a small business, him often don't see corporation as a necessary part of his thing. He perceive it as competition, especially a low barrier business like goat. You understand? Because if a man buy two goat tomorrow, he can claim to be a goat farmer. You understand? So that low barrier to entry is a problem. I'm not sure if it's still there because me only see myself. Hello? You there? Okay, but me not see Cabra. Cabra is still there or I'm not sure if I do. I'm not really a technology man, you know. Let me check him. Okay, see him. Cool. Oh, so it's just me if I go and talk till him come back. All right, yeah. I learn about this thing. I mean, first time I see a computer, man, 19. So, yeah, man. So what may I say is that we need that cooperation between the groups, between the participants, especially those who are of a business number. You understand? Because some people have goats, but they're not really at the point of a business number. They really use it to subsidize them little earnings by selling a goat when it is necessary. But you have others now, when we say around this country, we have numbers for business. And so, yeah. Yeah, man. So yeah, Cabra so I make me know say yeah, I'm a reboot and come back up. So we can go on with a reasoning until that happens. So I go and look in at the the comment section and any question you have until him come back, we can go and speak to it. So as I said, I'm not an expert in about the 13th of April is a 2019 is the first time we buy a goat, put them in a little house and have them down there. And I go and do my thing until I learn more. What's the business number for goat? Well, it depends on each individual, but if you can pay yourself out of it almost on a monthly basis, you have to wonder if it's a business or if it's just a kind of a side hustle. So you have to look on what is a reasonable monthly income for your effort. I'm targeting 1,000 mothers. That are my target. So I hope say if we can get 1,000 mothers at an efficient basis, we can almost get 6,000 goats every 2 years or 3,000 goats. As I go, 4,000 goats every 2 years. Yeah, 6,000 goats every 2 years. So that may work. Come on.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're back.
So from the meat side, meeting say more quantity. A man did ask while they gone. A man asked while they gone, what is a business amount? So me I show him say you have some people who really doesn't grow it for subsidize a spending. Like if them pick go school summer in September, him have some goat for sell, him really sell a monthly amount or seek to have a sustained living out of it. Him run a taxi or do something else in the interim. But I was telling them, boss, I aim to have 1,000 mother. And if we can satisfactorily have 1,000 mother, I think we can really make a living out of it.
Well, okay, so let me ask you a question. There's different models to making this a goat business work. So getting to 1,000 mothers, right? Your objective is just solely meat.
Solely meat, yeah.
Solely meat. So
yeah,
based
but
on
our
your
business evolved, but because I don't want to learn 10 things at a time, I do
okay.
meat goat now. You understand?
Yeah,
As it
okay,
evolved now, you might have
got
said, well, may have excess milk or whatever, but no, I do meat goat.
Okay, and based on your research, your projections, you think 1,000 goats will give you how much pound of meat per month?
Well, as I
1,000
said,
mothers.
me estimate 6,000 kids are come out of 1,000 goat. Every 2 years. So 3,000 a year basically. You understand? Because then I say I go get three breeding in a 2 years.
In 2 years, yeah.
Right.
Ideally,
So may I
that's an
say if I
ideal
get three
situation.
breeding average two per goat, then I will get 6,000 in a 2 years from my 1,000 mother then. You
Okay.
understand? Yeah. And so therefore I get 3,000 a year per average. Because me currently have a policy of growing them between 7 and 9 months. That's my current policy. So my target is to get a clean up weight of about 45 pounds.
Yeah.
So that are my target. That is my hope. But I've not achieved that because sometimes I get a clean up weight 25, sometimes I get a clean up weight 34. I think the highest I've ever gotten is a 34. But remember now that are really my second set of mothers who are crossbreed between Boer and locals and thing. And them I think will give me my greatest meat potential. So I think if I get 3,000 mother at about, let's say 40 pounds, clean up. Me go on at about 12,000 pounds a goat. So you
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
Mm.
So based on that,
120,000 pounds. Mm.
yeah. So you're just straight doing wholesale
Currently. But
currently.
if as a man we study business,
Hmm.
one should always aim to have 30% of him output going towards the final consumer, because that is the highest paying person.
Yes.
So just if we can give any advice from business now, we not talk about us go.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah, man.
business
Go
that
ahead.
you're in, you don't
Hmm.
want to be 100% wholesale. Because while if them buy in bulk, they are powerful. They therefore drive down your price because of that power, that
Hmm.
buying power. See, so I'm on the this after this, you can Google Porter 5 factor models. So
Hmm.
Porter says that there are some things where indicate your ability to be profitable then, or the attractiveness of an industry. One of which is the power of the buyer. If you sell to hotels, for example, or you sell to wholesale, they are powerful buyers. Them can easily go to other people. Them can say them not take no more, and the percent of your total where them take is so high that them can force you to act.
Walmart.
I wonder if you are pre, may I say?
Yeah, me a pre Walmart do that
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. So you want 30% of that now to go to regular consumer who are buying five pound, because he's
Hmm.
not a powerful buyer, but he's also not a price grabber because I real quality him want.
Hmm.
You understand? So
Yes.
yeah, so I aim to have about 30% of my meat going towards a final consumer.
Okay, that makes sense because
Mm.
I know from my other operation like Walmart. Walmart
Mm.
treat people like because of their purchasing power,
Yeah,
they
man.
squeeze a lot of people. They
Mm.
squeeze a lot of people on their products and get it to cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and then they reap the benefits of it.
Yeah.
So I
Plus, every
understand where
man
you.
wants to sell Walmart, you know. For example, if we look on our guys down here, Price Man.
Hmm.
Everybody would have loved for the inner Price Mart. So that give Price Mart power. Because you understand? So even your quality is less important. It is important, but less important than the price. While a
Yes.
man where I buy $1,000 a pound, him no mind spend 1,100 if him sure of him quality.
Yeah.
You get me? So like we have a policy, 7 to 9 months, no longer. We not sell all goat. We want when you cook your goat, it come off of the bone nice and sweet and tender and soft. You understand? So man, we say for that surety. You get me? We see something come out now where them looks like dog or sell for mutton. I'm not sure if it's true or a
Actually, you
lie.
see video
You
all over the
understand?
place. I don't
You
know
see
how
the
that
video
works.
all
You see
over.
the video.
That create an
Yes.
opportunity for people like me and you know where a man knows have a farm. So I must say, yo, I prefer buy direct from the farm, because I'm sure it's another dog. You pre? So
Exactly.
those set of people now who willing to spend $100 more, you want to have a certain amount of them. Because when you sell to a wholesale, you sell to all $800. I can't talk free because I say I don't think everybody can take for mine. But I sell $810 a pound to a wholesale.
Hmm.
You understand? But if I sell to a regular consumer, I can get 1,000. So if I have
Yeah.
30% of that, I make $100 and something dollar more, $190 more than 30% um of my stock. So yeah, not just wholesale to answer the question.
Yeah. And do you strongly believe in growing direct to consumer, to the end consumer
A percent.
module?
A
No, do you
percent.
believe in growing that percentage to a higher level?
Well, again, when you have a whole heap, you have to really have great distribution systems to go to a higher level. So if me say more than 50%, it means I'm going to sell 60,000 pounds to consumers. So if
Hmm.
my mathematics right, then to say them I buy, let's say 10 pounds for mathematics, I have 600 consumers. If I
Okay.
5 pounds, I have 1,200 consumers. So you start now to have to put infrastructure into place as the number of final consumers grow.
Got
And
it.
that infrastructure is also an investment, which you
Hmm.
might not really want to take on. You understand? And it take you
Hmm.
out of your core business as being a goat man. You
Hmm.
get me? So when we look, for example, just my friend network alone, we might have 150 people in from just my friend network. Because when we find in a Jamaica, a lot of friends beg you more than help you.
True that.
You know what I mean? So
Real
you have some
talk.
man come and say, yo, I can't get a
Mm.
goat, but he never buy
Yeah.
£5 yet. And he eat mutton
Hmm.
every week, but he not buy from you. You get me? I come from.
Hmm.
So when we do now coordinate like my friend network and start there. You understand? And if my mutton nice and thing, we kind of now start to look at having them now send me people like, oh, say insurance, people sell insurance. You know what I mean? Ask for a referral from my friend network. You get me? So that's my KC old boys fraternity. And again, me have some benefits because I'm a politician out there already. People know me, and some people have support me because I'm a politician. You get me? Another man might not have that broader network, but at the same time, the concept is the same. If a 10 friend you have is 10 friend, for 50 is 50. You start with that friend network and say, yo, can you buy £5 a month from me? That means that me have £50 a month. And I'm coming to 10 friends. See, me have 50 friends, so me have £250 a month. And me
Your phone a ring. Your phone a ring. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I saw me approach it.
You gotta repeat that again because your phone was ringing and it cut
Oh,
out
yeah,
your
yeah,
audio.
yeah. So what me I say is that we start with my friend network. So if you have 10
Yes.
friends and you say, can you buy £5 a month? Let's say you can supply that amount, £50 a month. If you have 10 friends that buy £5 a month from you, you're already the 50. Me have 50 friends, so we can go £250 a month. So if me go to my friends and say, yo, yeah, me know you eat meat. Can you buy £5 a month from me? A month, you know. See, me not about a week or a day. Me have £250 lucky in from those friends. When me grow bigger now, me ask them for recommendations because I'm hoping them satisfied with it and the tenderness and the sweetness and the this and the that. You get me? And then now, now when you reach big like 1,000 now, come just put in like an abattoir and stuff like that. You want to step up your thing now to value added now. Because at this now you make $2,000 instead of $1,000 per pound.
Yes. Yeah.
You understand?
Making sausage and burgers.
Yeah, you make burger, you make sausage, you get me? You might do a pre-season and stuff like that. So yeah, you know, but you have to have your numbers to make sure so when the man come for him £5, you have it.
Yes, understood. Yeah. So it's I'm happy you touched on the business side of things because that's, as I mentioned to you earlier today, that's where our focus is because we have the man and we're specialists on caring for goat and them something.
Yeah.
So, you don't know nothing about caring for
No.
goat. You know what I mean? I learn as we
We just
go
want to
along.
go to sell. We don't really
Yeah,
know how to reach to this.
I call them on them with know the thing. When me have problem, I call me know who to call and to help me fix the problem. But the business side is where I want, we always try to emphasize the business side, how to help people grow. You know what I mean? How do we bring value to farmers and how they can have better systems, better operation, you know what I mean, register them operation, etc., etc. All of that stuff. That's what we try to bring on this platform.
Well,
So
you say a word, that is very important, but a lot of people misunderstand value.
Yes.
You see, value is a comparison of benefits to outlay. So when a man says, a lot of we think value is the price. Value is the comparison of the benefits to the outlay. So if I create value, may I give you something, and you give me back something for what I've given you.
Yes.
So enough of we out there trying to be very cheap, not understanding value. Because me can give you a proposition of more for more. I can give you more benefits and charge you more for it. That's what Benz do. That's what BMW do. You understand? And that more don't even mean say you have a better car. It might mean say you have more attention from people. It might mean a girl more likely to deal with you. You understand? That those are benefits. So when a man comes and say, all right, me will deliver, that's a benefit. That means that you can organize in your mind or we can charge him for that benefit. You understand? When we say my meat is no more than 9 months old, so sure tender, that's a benefit. We don't have to be tried with the cheapest because we have other benefits which is of value and people willing to pay for value. You pre where I come from. So if a man say, all right, me will season it for you, pre-season, because I know you have enough for them girl and know them two can cook on these things. You understand? So if you can pre-season it, that is value. So what you have to look for now is to say to yourself, how can I create greater value? You understand? And charge for it. If you create value and don't charge for it, you have lost. It's better you do without the additional value. You understand? If me can sell you a dirty shoes for $10 and me clean the shoes and still I sell it for $10, that's not business. Now that I've created additional value by cleaning the shoes, that will be $13 more.
Boy, man, I drop dimes up in here.
So when you have this business now, you have some purpose, you have some things where you can look at. The first one, you can say, yo, me want to be the same for less. We don't need to be that in the goat business because there's no glut in the market. So a man here say, yo, how much Cabra sell goat for? $800? All right, me I sell for 750. Me I sell the same goat for less money. That only needed when there's a glut. There's no glut.
Yeah.
There's great demand for everybody goat. Everyone we can sell a goat. So we don't need to be the same for less. It's just because we train that way, for think that way, that we want undercut a man price. You get me? So me no want to be the same for less. You have another man now that is at like we call a Chinaman store. Him saying it's less for less. So for example, you might have said me not chop up the money, me just kill it and you chop it up by yourself.
Yeah.
So you get less out, but you pay less fee. You understand? So a man might come and say, that am my thing. And a man say, I only sell live goat, you have to kill it by yourself. You get me? So if me could have sell a live goat on average fee, let's say 2 to 1 then, live weight to dead weight, just the mathematics say. So if me can sell a 100-pound goat for $10,000, and when me kill him, me can only sell it for $10,000. Might as well me not bother kill him. Because me have taken great effort and cost and kill him. You understand?
Yeah,
so a man might say, yo, me not go through that, you have to kill him yourself. You see? So make a look on a 9-night then. I can sell a 9-night a live goat and find somebody to kill it very. And next man can come in at the market and say, I'm going to give you more by killing it for you, but you have to pay me more. Whether 3 grand, 5 grand, you work out your maths. You get me? So from a business side, you have to look and say, which of these propositions you really want to be? You want to be the same for less? You want to be less for less? Or you want to be more for more? You get to me I come from? I want to be more for more. That's why I want to do the curry. You understand? I want to be more for more, so I want to even offer some man boneless. But you know, say if you get boneless, you might give me 5 grand for a quarter pound. You understand? No.
Yeah, you know,
that's the bonus like a weed.
You know, all the things that D-board goat, brethren, trust me, if you sit down and watch through them D-board goat for that burger, I mean, I say, I whole power that the burger meat that for sell for y'all 3,000.
Yeah, a man have to know, say, unless I'm burger, I'm nobody call me for no burger meat.
Yeah.
You understand where I come from?
True
or
that.
me have to know, say, me have something to do with the bone. Whether through making a soup stock or something. You get me? Because even the skin, you know, me I try to find some way to sell them skin here.
Yo, there's a brother who make drums will call me a couple times, you know, me I'll give you the link.
Yeah, you have to try to find a way to get rid of everything. You don't want no cost, you don't want no waste. You pre where me I come from. So what me I say is that we have to look on that. The other thing what me say is the man that I look on, I'm seeing at the group enough time too, is how you price. See, now there are rules to pricing, so we can look into all of those rules. But I say, man, I say, how much for a pound and how much for down the road and all of them things. Your environment are going to determine your price. You understand? So if you live in a place where you're willing to pay 1,300, don't watch Upper Kingston and say, oh, Kingston 1,300. Because your place are willing to pay 1,000. So that is one thing we wish we could have done, especially in the group. If we could have, like, as farmers, just have a suggested price. Like we said to ourselves, say, yo, this may sell fine, this may sell for now. So we could have just looked in at the market and say, yo, that's the price. Because somehow because we don't have the information, we're underpriced because we're afraid for not sell.
So, you know, because in the high season, right? Like Christmas, holiday season and everything, I know that in certain parts of the country, you can't get the meat for less than $1,000 a pound.
Yeah.
Here in St. Mary and Highgate, when me them, I can't sell it for more than $850 or $900 a pound.
And you have to accept that a year reality.
You have to accept that my reality, that my area.
Yes.
That my area I can manage.
That's what your income bracket. That's yeah. You understand?
If them could get more the money, I push it to more. I know that.
Exactly. Yeah. But someone now look for my Kingston 1,200 and start to know outprice himself out of the market. You understand? Yeah. Because remember, you know, that if I can't afford it, it's not a query now of if I want it. Me just can't afford it. I have to cut my eye and pass it. You understand? I mean, I want to buy a range, but the price out of my range, as Busy Signal say. So therefore, you have to meditate these realities now and say, yo, how you do it now? One of the things I'm realizing with the whole heap of Jamaicans is that them hustling more than business. A hustle don't care about customer retention. Like a man will sell bag juice, he don't care who buy him bag juice. Because he don't necessarily see it tomorrow. So he does a hustle bag juice. But if you run a business, you must care about customer retention. So you have to now satisfy your customer in a way that is willing to always buy from you. If you sell a man a goat for him 9 night, every time somebody dead him for call you.
That.
You hear me I say?
Or make a deal with the
Hello?
funeral house. Yeah, man, me there. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So
Yeah, or make a deal with
if me
the
link
funeral
you,
house.
me not hear you a while ago,
You
sorry.
say make a deal with the funeral house so them call you when them have funeral and arrange a
Yeah,
funeral.
but me I said that funeral house then, because you can say, yeah, if you make a deal with the funeral house, see, then you go business to business. Because you deal with a business who then become an intermediary to film customers.
Yeah.
He must be satisfied that when he give a person your information, them get the goat and them satisfied too. Otherwise, he must say you are much of film business.
That's true.
You understand where I come from? But
Yeah.
if you are sell to the regular man, just knows that the man have goat and him link me. Every time somebody dead for him supposed to be satisfied to link me back. But if you are hustle, you don't care if you want to link you back. So you give him all a pound, all a 10 pound less goat than you tell him. When him see it now, him say the goat look little and you think you win. When you lose all future sale. You understand? So one of the things may I try, for example, is to sell goat by telephone. So the man say, "You want a goat?" My manager call him, video call him, look on it, this is your goat, bam, 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 him discuss it, and we move on. So him not really come at the farm or nothing, because you know people can't move again and all of those little things.
Every goat we sell by WhatsApp.
So when a man see your goat now, nobody go try bamboozle him with a little half pound less one on the road or one little rocks. Because when you lose that, you're a hustler, and hustlers don't make real profit. You understand? You just skim the market, you make a short-term profit, but you don't make long-term profit as a hustler. A businessman make
Lincoln,
long-term profit by sustaining customers.
You know Lincoln where Casey King Curry.
Yeah.
He's been harping on integrity and honesty within the goat farm business for a long time. He's saying a lot of these people are not honest and it's gonna bite them in the ass. So it's the same thing that you're talking about. They
Same
just
thing,
come
man.
to hustle and them don't care if a man get a bad deal or not because them feel them come out ahead, but them really don't come out ahead.
Because them lose a customer.
Yeah.
And you lose that long-term customer now. Now, when me I try got 1,000 mother, me no need to lose nobody. People fear buy back from me. If me I sell a wholesale, him fear get kudos on him money. Me I call him and I say, yo, what the people them say sat the gun? People must say this, yo, it pink, it ray. Yeah, cool, whatever. People must say the fridge burn it up, look like whatever. Me I keep on try making sure that when film customer buy film, let's say film company name wholesale. When a man say, yo, wholesale the baddest money, it's because me supply him with good money.
Yeah.
Therefore, if him satisfied, they think him go over Cabra and over risk not being the same money everybody at talk about.
True that.
So him not risk. So if me come now 2 year time and say $50 more, he must say, yo, better I pay the $50 because me I get good reviews and me I get consistent sales from this guy selling me consistent money. So instead of take the risk now of losing that credibility, it's better me give him a $50 more. You agree?
Yeah.
So some of those little things I find the farmers because me get licked to me buy go to man say purebred.
Yeah, everybody get licked. Everybody.
And not you go pure. And when you reach out, you go pure bulk. You understand me?
Yeah, true, man. Everybody will come in and serious about it. Always get bite by the man.
Yeah, man, me get licked. Man sell me mothers to where non-breed. You understand? And you did she get jump, she now I'm not picnic. But at the end of the day, him get a 30 grand or a 40 grand. But him could almost sell me goat anytime he want because me I buy goat. But no, me know say him right off as far as me concerned.
Yeah,
you know?
That's what me say. Like, you know what I mean? The amount of money we spend on goat and one man turn me off and again. And we spend millions of dollars on goat. Me don't even think about him again because he screw with me one time. And it's not even
and
one of them things.
Business, you know?
Yeah, it's not even one of them things where he never know. Him try to talk me into it. So I say, okay, you know, me no good. You know why my thing grow. Because you think you can run one over upon me. So I like that.
Yeah. So it's a
So
hustling mentality instead
hustle
of a business
mentality,
mentality.
business
So them now
mentality.
try retain a customer.
Hmm.
And you only
Yeah.
can retain him by being satisfied. You understand? One of the
Hmm.
greatest thing when we buy goat from a man and him call me all 3 month time and I say, yo, how the goat I do? Ray, I'm not breed it. Where you get out I? So I say, oh, the
Hmm.
man I did have confidence in what him sell me. I feel good about that.
Yeah.
You understand? But when
Hmm.
it comes to now and your sister is all a whole goat, all the teeth them drop out and everything, I said, Jaja. You know what I mean? But we go through it and I learned. So I don't replicate that. You get me? Because I don't sell, when I sell to farmers mainly, right?
Hmm.
If a man come and insist him to get a goat, because I don't know the genes and the thing for give a man a good deal. You
Yeah.
understand? So when a man come and he must say this is a great goat, I don't know. So I don't want to tell him 70 grand and when him come back no, it's a rocks.
Hmm.
You understand?
True
So
that.
I try to always make sure that my client is satisfied, which means that when him expect him get more than it.
Yeah, because for us, I mean, we sell goat based on the quality of the animal from our data. What
Mm,
data we collect. Birth weight, weaning weight, growth rate, all that stuff. And then we base the price of the goat on that. And
right,
everybody asks, we tell them that's exactly how we do it. That goat may turn out to be nothing, or it may turn out to be a superstar. The one thing I sold myself for 35 or 25 may turn out to be a superstar. But at this very moment, this one is the high performer. This one is the mediocre performer. That one is the low performer. That's based on the data. And
right.
how yeah. So outside of that, I don't know because we
You
not
have
have.
some man will sell based on the person. So like on me come now politician, 100 grand.
Nah, me sell it on the
Next man
numbers
coming at
because
X5, 200 grand.
no, me can
Yeah.
show them the numbers. Me show people the numbers. You know what I mean? Screenshot my Excel sheet and send it to them and say, yo, so you're a goat, yeah? I farm in the system. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because at the end of the day, I may lose when I go to me think I underperform and next thing I know him turn big stud for a man farm. But I'm proud and happy if you know say him turn big stud. Me not feel
Mm-hmm.
like say a man get away with that thing.
And the
At the
next time that
time,
man want
yeah,
a goat, he might
him
come to
will
you.
call me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the amount of return customers we have is ridiculous. The list is so long for females because a man what we tell them is the truth. What we tell them is the right thing. They trust that, okay, me say, yo, I go and good enough based on the numbers, the data we collect. I'm gonna call and
Mm-hmm.
say, yo, your boy, I go on wicked more females. You know what I mean? So that's how we base the business. And as I said, bringing value to our viewers and our participants on this platform, I always try to tell people the right thing to, the right way to go about it. It's not a hustle thing. It's not a get over upon a man with think you can hustle a extra 5 or 2 G's or whatever upon a goat. Do the right thing because in the end, the man's gonna come back and you're gonna tell him friend, and your friend are gonna tell him friend, and you're gonna get calls
Mm-hmm.
if you do the right thing. So I appreciate you emphasizing that because that is a big deal in this business. Serious deal. The amount of bad stories and horror stories we hear. You know what I mean? So, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So what is your long term plan?
As me say, me want got 1,000
Hmm.
mothers, and then me want to be like an amalgamator. Then, so I put in an abattoir, and
Hmm.
then I want to be able to say, yo, okay, that's carrying no goat. This are the price I'm gonna buy per pound live weight, and this are the type of goat I'm gonna buy 7 months, 9 months, whatever. And then people with them with smaller herds can then automatically supply me, so we can get into some of these bigger wholesales. You know what I
So
mean?
okay, so how you gonna know
How am I gonna know?
if the goat is 8 months or 7 months?
Well, over time, you will also be able to look on it, but records, because when a man is a contract farmer for you, you have to also keep him records. You get me? So, the
Okay.
first year you have to lose because a man a try forcing everything where him at. But then
Okay.
by the second year, him kind of depend on a system of rotation,
Hmm.
So you end up doing it. And that's why things like even the burger and them thing they are necessary because when a man carry one year and a half, you just burger that instead of chop up that.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So okay, in the future, from here on out, let's forget about goat business. Let's talk about straight agriculture, right? What is your, are you a spokesperson position?
Yeah, my culture.
Your culture. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you can speak on this because, you know what I mean, my boy may DM me tomorrow morning, flight. But how do you, as a farmer, you have a voice as a farmer.
Yes.
How do you see the government doing things that will energize and help bring agriculture into the new economy, the new way of doing business, the
Well,
online
one
way of
thing I
doing
think
business,
them
the
have to do
e-commerce?
is to motivate us with targets.
Hmm.
So, for example, let's say we import 100,000 carcass every year.
Hmm.
I think the government should say, yo, we now allow more than 80,000 carcass next year. Can you, the farmers, give me this 20,000 carcass? I would say, yeah or nay. You understand? And
Hmm.
projections can show if we have meet it or not. So if over the next 10 years, them say 5% reduction from imports and these targets are our motivators, so we sure so we're not going to compete with
Hmm.
dump goods. I think more of us would be willing to risk more funds and things like that to carry us into, because we never can immediately go to $2 billion worth of gold. But if you say 5% a year over the next 20 years, because it's not a one night story, as I say, right?
Hmm.
That could be a motivator for us to go into the thing. The other thing is the amalgamation sales entity, meaning like a central sales hub. Because one of the problems with the hotels is that you have big hotels and small farms. So most of it won't be able to sell a hotel the amount of goat you want if you want goat as an individual man. You
Yes.
understand? Most of we can sell any no because it's a big hotel with 2,000 rooms and it's a small farm with 1 acre. You understand? While in America you have big hotel and big farm. So them
Hmm.
one to one can have conversation. But with big hotel and small farm, you need an amalgamator now. You need a central hub where a man can call the hub and say, I want 10,000 pounds of potato. And each potato man carry in pound and say, okay, we need this amount of pound. Even to get him to carry come that amalgamator, because what me and you are going to ship off a quarter of a container, that don't make no sense. If we are ship off, you understand? We have to ship a
Hmm.
full container. So you need a man now to amalgamate to say, yo, you know, say down a Trinidad or down a Barbados one mutton or sheep or cow or pepper or whatever. And based on this contract where this central system go and get like go jump to boat and go promote hotel and thing, the central system get these contracts and then now you say to we say, yo, within 6 months we are gonna need this. Come
So
through,
should
sign
that
up.
should that be a private sector initiative or should that be a Minister of Agriculture slash tourism
Well,
initiative?
it depends, you know, it's because the private intermediaries take all the profit, it don't encourage the farmer to farm. So by extension, if you're gonna have farmers encouraged to farm, it almost have to be a government initiative because they are not profit creamers. You see where I come from? So if a man said, me I go sell a container, me I go be the amalgamator, me want buy your goat for $500. Because me want $300 for the final price. While
Hmm.
if government do it, it might only want $50 to run the cost. So by extension, to encourage the farmer to participate, we think at this time it might have to be government because the trend is to take advantage of the farmer by the middle people.
But you know, so the government also have a history of corruption.
Yeah, but government normally thief from the individual and them thief from what left. Thief from
Yeah,
the,
I
so
like how candid you are about these
no,
things.
he
You
robbed the
know,
ministry. You know, gonna say, yo, may I take a $50, may I take a $100. You know, he doesn't rob the
yeah,
units.
but the point is, if he skims the revenue of this
Yeah,
enterprise,
so we'll get less marketing and less promotion
yeah,
and
then it
less.
eventually will crumble.
It will if them corrupt, yeah. But
Yeah,
I'm
we
just saying
don't
that.
want it to crumble.
Remember, the question we asked is to encourage the farmer, you know.
Yeah, okay, all right,
So
all
the
right, all
only
right.
way the farmer gonna be encouraged is if he
Mhm.
maximize profit, even if you
Yes.
get the money. So if
Hmm.
you put a private intermediary, remember now, him not gonna do it as a private man without a profit too. But
Hmm.
there's a maximum, a ceiling of price, how much the buyer willing to pay.
Hmm.
So if I was selling to my wholesale through a middleman, then I would have get $600 a pound. because that middleman need $200 to run for him business, or for the $800 where the man willing to pay. So if a private man become the intermediary, I now grow goat for $600 pound. That don't make sense for my business. You understand? So I wouldn't have expanded. But if you guarantee me, say, I can get 750, we would have expand something the initial. Now, sometime government start it and then set the systems and privatize it after. You understand? Or maybe the farmers now could have come together and form like a cooperative then.
A cooperative.
You understand? And therefore we are our own middlemen. You pre. So maybe there's a hybrid system where could have worked where government facilitate with training and maybe some little seed money, and we the farmers come together and become a conglomerate then to be a cooperative.
Yeah, I strongly believe in the cooperative way. Because the cooperative way is definitely for profit for the farmer. And
for the farmer. But if you just put a private middleman, let's say a company come in and we start a company for sell as an intermediary, we the farmers wouldn't get no time.
So would you be a part of a cooperative?
Yeah, man. Then if we can come together for sell feces, then what we are gonna come together for sell, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true. That's true. All right. So hold on.
So definitely. I've been promoting because encourage like 2 people for starting at St. Mary, you know. Come really I try to get St. Mary for be like a little
you never call me. You never call me.
No, you did already start. But man, I said
you mean to start
build and start goat farms. Okay. You understand? So once we have that group of we have the goat now, because all right, the fertilizer, for example. Me so we are import manure, goat manure for some farms and these things. Because we not have enough. I remember a man now come to me if you 1 bag and 2 bag. But if we had some system where we could have centralized all of this manure, then coffee people would have come buy manure. You understand? And pepper people or whoever else use manure.
Weed man them.
Wheat, well, especially the one them were legal, because you know me depend on the thing, I want them because say Crawford has said bad.
No, I'm talking about the new legal enterprise.
Yeah, the legal one. But that's shows that if we cooperate, if we have enough mutton to sell, we could have get into some of the bigger wholesale.
Yeah.
Because I tell you, have man will give me the money all a month before when December coming, give me money from November for say me want them goat here. Because him knows a goat have a shot.
Yeah, every season.
Right. So yeah, I would have joined a cooperative for sure. You know.
All right.
Definitely.
That's good. All right. So okay, let's get some questions and try to wrap this up by 8:30. So let's get some questions from the people. I can't see the chat anymore because of that network drop out.
I'm not know how to get it bigger. I think we can get it bigger.
Yeah, man. So
you teach me something. You teach me something today because we never know about this thing.
Yeah, man. So okay, folks, drop your questions, and I think I'm gonna try to get my producer over here to moderate the questions, because I can't see it anymore. Oh, yeah, true. You can still see it. Why is the screen so low? I'm gonna get a second screen so I can see them. All right, folks, drop your questions. And I will post them so Damion can see them. What is it?
You see, a man said the association need to be fixed. So how will a cooperative go? Why? We don't have enough information to talk about that.
No, yeah. Well, let me speak on that. The association is different from a cooperative. The association is like a representative, like a union or whatever. They're supposed to speak on behalf of farmers.
A lobby group.
A lobby group. But a cooperative is definitely for profit. It's a
with
group
contracts
of farmers,
and everything.
Yeah, a group of farmers coming together and say, we're going to pool our resources, pool our product, we're going to sell it, we are make money. We're not in we are go to make money. So we want a contract with a hotel. If they want 500 pounds of meat, we're going to pool our resources and deliver the 500 pounds of meat and split the profit. That's what it is.
Even with a feed machine, or even a cooperative could have said, we are putting 100-acre grass. That could have been a cooperative activity too. So a cooperative could have said, we're going to lease some land, we're going to put in some grass, we're going to make sure there's some king grass, whatever, and a man either have to buy it at a reduced price or a man guaranteed a certain amount or whatever. So
And
cooperatives
yeah,
not only even come to selling, you have cooperatives
and
from every angle.
purchase power for
Hmm.
feed,
Yeah,
purchase
exactly.
power for equipment, importation
Exactly.
of farm
Exactly.
equipment, all that stuff. Because
Hmm.
I know that the government has policies in place for cooperatives to benefit from certain things in the agricultural sector.
Yes, that is
You
true.
know what I mean?
Mm.
That is a real thing. I don't know who takes advantage of it because I haven't met any good cooperative, but I know that maybe there's pigs or chicken or whatever. You know what I mean? Okay, Mr. Golding asking, when will Mr. Crawford write a book on economics? Are you an economic specialist or a marketing guy? Which one is it?
Yeah, marketing my lecture. Yeah, my lecture. Music lecture, he kind of accept, but in the main lecture, marketing are you, you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
So are you gonna write a book?
well, me definitely I list down definitely from the goat side because I want to just publish my experience so that the next man will try this, he not necessarily
Hmm.
make the same mistake. So even my personal best practices I've been writing them down and I'm
Hmm.
gonna try to publish something from that aspect,
Okay.
an efficient goat business
Hmm.
book. Because I read this one called Goat for Dummies, and
Hmm.
I think some could have really try a Jamaica one, but I wouldn't write one for econ because I'm not really the authority on
This,
all
this
aspects of
this is
economics.
what got us started.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So there's always ways to do it. Like I don't want the man them bite your thing, but there's ebooks that people can do. You know what I mean? You
yeah,
don't have
man.
to. Yeah, it's ebooks. You don't have to put a physical copy. You can have an ebook and put it
But
on
if 10 I will write a
Amazon.
book, not 10 more knowledge, man. 'Cause look how much
Exactly.
econ book them have.
The different perspectives.
Yeah,
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 perspectives. You know what I mean? You know what I
exactly,
mean? Trudy's
exactly.
halfway through. Trudy's halfway through our book already. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man,
She
it's
just writes it
necessary
as the
because even
experience.
even with all Saint Mary and the rain and how you
Hmm.
respond to it, just my thing, how I go about the business part, how I look the business, how I negotiate my prices, I kind of jot down those things, and
Yeah.
hopefully maybe able to just put that out there.
Okay. Any other questions, Miss Producer? What is the feeding system method of feeding you're looking at to feed the thousand goats?
All right, so I put in 40-acre king grass. So I've
Father bank.
identified 40 acres
Mm-hmm.
when I put in of king grass. I also get brewer's grain. I'm gonna find a company out of Florida where do dried citrus pulp.
Mm-hmm.
So I look into the cost realities of dried citrus pulp. I'm gonna buy bag feed for the one them where I sell to. So the males where I fatten currently, I buy bag feed
Mm-hmm.
for those males. You know. So
Okay.
as I go along, when we reach 600, we will re-look again and see if it makes sense. If we reach 700, I buy
Mm-hmm.
a silage machine. I go put it in the group tomorrow. I buy it from India. We
Okay.
basically pack silage.
Mm-hmm.
So that will help me to just keep on cutting every 6 weeks and storing.
Okay.
And if me have a lease more land to get grass, me will also look into that possibility. But me have 100 acres. So I think if I may
Well,
put in 40-acre king grass and see where that carry me.
I guess if you have 100 acre, but how much of that 100 acre is potentially fodder land
Well,
versus
only
inaccessible land?
12 acre we use so far.
But how much of it can turn into fodder? Can turn into
Most of it, man, coming to the
Mhm.
soil test and thing. We have some
Okay.
areas that gently sloping.
So
And then we have flat.
would you consider
Huh?
a full intensive system?
Yeah, but me still think the animal for be animal, so me
Mm.
put some little exercise paddock, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at least let them out maybe twice a week or whatever to make them go walk around and graze just for the
Okay.
because I still see them as a pet, but maybe as I get more and more into it, I gotta start just treat them like food. But me
No,
feel
well,
away when even if I cut out
for
them
me,
hand, I feel away sometimes. I just left them hand.
yeah, same like us. You know what I mean? I don't think I would ever be good business if I can't see them outside and do some things.
Yeah,
You
man.
know
Yeah,
what I mean?
man.
That's what makes
Yeah,
me at peace and enjoy the whole process. You know what I mean?
exactly.
So yeah.
So
So okay.
me no want to just have them stressed out and thing. But
Mhm.
I put in a next house now with how much cubicle it have? 400 4 by
Mm-hmm.
4 cubicles for the mothers, for example, to just
Yeah.
separate mothers when
When
them
them
reach
have
them
kids.
1 month and while them are born with them children and stuff like that. So we are
Okay.
putting some systems, but we are putting 40-acre king grass. We tried the Mombasa, but rain the wash of the seed and it never really worked.
Okay, so here's another question. What can the government do to implement stronger penalties for goat thief? You know what? I don't know if you can answer that, but I'm going to get an update from Dr. Welch, the previous Assistant Commissioner of Police. I'm going
Yeah.
to bring him back to do a refresh because we had him on last year. So I'm going to have him come back and do a refresh thing on what they're doing, what the previous last
You
unit is.
know, Dr. Welch come check me too. I'm tell him the same thing. I think we are target the wrong culprit.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? We are target the goat thief instead of target the buyer of the stolen goods.
Yeah, exactly.
So you have a system for customs called ASIC coder, where basically a man have to log in when I bring in and it tell you automatically how much. You see who a sell goat? I feel said there must be a governmental system that them only can buy from those who are assigned to purchase. And that
Exactly.
man to sell. So if me and you register as goat seller, rather come check me out and say, I can sell £1,000 for the year
Yeah.
based on the goat that I have rare. If a man is an intermediary, he have to come and buy from me that going at the same asset quota system. You understand? So once there's a red flag will come up, the people from the station can go check this man and where him buy goat from and where him get to sell it. You understand?
Yeah.
Because you have let's say you have 100 goat teeth, but you have 10 man to sell. The 100 goat teeth have to carry to maybe 20 people to sell it.
Yes.
So therefore, instead of try to catch 100, why not control 20? Because if him can't sell it, him not thief it, why am I do thief it to eat it?
True that. That's why
So
people don't keep
therefore,
iPhone.
I think we need a system
Yeah.
where the man who buy have to enter my code as a seller, and it will show how much me supposed to can sell him for the year. And if me go by it, the centralized system, I go show so me go by it, and then now the police intervene to come ask me explain myself, or him have to explain why where him get to buy.
All
So I
right.
think going after the thief is a wrong approach.
Well, I agree with you. It's the end. It's the end where the product end. Like the
Mm.
butcher, you know what I mean. The man where keep dance, all them something there. Them do, that's where the problem lies.
And the man
You know
where
what I mean?
thief dancing and lose 12 goat a night.
Yeah.
The man where thief a dance, they lose 1 goat. You
Hmm.
understand? So I
Hmm.
really the wholesale and the meat shop and them thing the way a man can say him lose
Yeah,
30
like
goat.
last year when them use a fishing net and take a 30 yard goat.
Yeah, that's not a
And but
dance.
yeah,
Because he would have to
yeah,
have somewhere to keep them. He would have to turn a goat farmer with them 30 goat if a dance alone
exactly.
and 9 9.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody will own a wholesale thing or whatever
Ah,
for them
so
thing
that
there.
wholesale now should have to enter in the system. Say him have £400, and then now him have to say 3076, which is Crawford Farm, and then that automatically shows a Crawford Farm should be able to sell this and no more for the rest of the year. And if
Mhm.
the red flag come up, a man come intervene.
Yeah.
So when you do your butcher license and all them things, they have to have the system there. So me just think so we are go after the wrong person.
Next question. Can Jamaica reach a level where we can import goods from other countries, India, USA, Canada, to Jamaica as we do cars? Go
We
ahead.
can, it just difficult. But
Yes.
there's not where we say we cannot. It's because them sell livestock now, them don't want to risk the rest of it by importation. But we have imported in the past. You
Yeah, we have
understand?
imported.
Uh,
Last year we had Al Archer on, who was one of the guys who brought significant genetics to the live genetics to the country, live animals, and the system is there. You can get permit to bring
yeah,
in animals, to bring in semen, embryo. It's to get the U.S. or wherever you're getting the product from to meet Jamaica's criteria. That is the problem.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
And
Because
and that
Jamaica,
again was
they're
where a
so
cooperative would
protective.
have been
Yeah,
beneficial. Because we are going to bring in 1 goat or
yeah,
5 goat or 10 goat. That don't
exactly.
make no sense.
And Jamaica
But
is
it's
so
expensive
protective.
because me that do the research and it's expensive to bring them
Yeah,
in.
Dr. Watson is so protective of what's here in Jamaica when it comes to disease and all that stuff. So he's very reluctant for live animals to come since the blue tongue thing happened, since the scrapie. disease and all that stuff. He's very
Yeah.
reluctant. In fact, him just stop approve um, goat live import, or he set the standard so high that nobody can meet it.
I think me did forget one place. I think in a Texas forgot one goat show the other day. A COVID kind of they shut it down and thing like that.
Yes, that's it.
But
Yeah.
High pro
No,
and
I won't go. It
Nutrimix
was Judy
also are
Woodruff.
bringing semen,
Yeah,
and them are bringing some good semen.
so
And I think that kind of
Hypro has amazing semen from
yeah man,
BND and
and Nutrimix
Samuel
too.
Golding. Yeah, and
So that
Nutramix and
reduce the
Hypro.
need for import a live goat to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Nutramix and Hypro have good genetics on the island for,
Yeah,
for,
yeah,
for the
yeah.
AI. But the thing is, with the AI, you only get half of the breed, right? Half of the genetic pool.
Right,
But if you can able to bring in embryo, which is 100%, or the actual animal, that
right.
would be serious game changer. But you know what I mean, we still have to give thanks for whatever we're getting
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now,
yeah.
as it's still an improvement. You just got to keep pushing, and I think with technology and advance in science, medical science, sooner or later, Dr. Watson have to say, all right, go through.
My only
You know what I mean?
concern though is the kind of a monopoly or at least an oligopoly control of like the semen and them something there. So
So
the
here
price
what
not
one.
necessarily reflect the global price sometimes.
So the concern is well, it's not even a concern. It is a reality. There is one that I know of, one lab, one genetic thing in the U.S. that can actually send semen to Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
right? B&D Genetics. Nobody else can meet the nobody's willing to go through the jump through the hoops and do all the stuff needed to send semen to Jamaica. B&D did it, and Nutramix have a contract with them as the exclusive distributor of anything B&D Genetics sell. So you want new genetics, semen, it come from B&D, Nutramix is the exclusive distributor. So you
But
have to deal
that
with,
have price implications because then now
yeah.
them can charge enough of money and that price implication are gonna
And
lead to profit
yeah.
reduction, you know?
Yeah, so I don't know exactly what it's gonna mean for long term. You know what I mean? Samuel Golding is also Nutramix have Samuel Golding genetics too, Goldmine genetics. But BND. Hmm? Okay, so here's Samuel Golding saying Global Genetics in Texas can also send semen to Jamaica. But so
Mm-hmm.
Samuel, is that Samuel send us a message? Is that are they open? Like, is there any exclusive deals with anybody in Jamaica? Any, you know what I mean, exclusivity, distribution deals?
Distributor.
Yeah. Just drop us a note, let us know if there is any. But Samuel has genetics in Jamaica through Nutramix, and I guess he uses global genetics in Texas.
Yeah,
Okay,
so yeah.
and then in Canada, OC have always had a standard approval to send things semen to Jamaica because of Canada's standards versus the U.S. standards. You know what I mean? So OC Flock has always been able to send semen to Jamaica. I don't know if they send any embryos, but they've always able to send semen. And Samuel said we should contact Nutramix for more information on that. All right. Any other questions we got? Well, thank you, Damion. This is amazing. This
Respect man.
I think I think people are gonna be like, I think they should have a notebook full of information because on the business side, you know what I mean, this is where it's more important for us. This is where the value is. It's on the business side. How do you treat your growth enterprise as a real business? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We spent a lot of time last year talking about registering the business, doing bank accounts, tax compliance, and all that stuff. We
Tracking your
spent a lot of
costs.
time. Yeah, and figuring
Mm.
out what it costs to bring an animal to market. You know what I mean?
So yeah,
Those are
man,
the
and
things.
thank you to my brother for what you're doing because as I said, knowledge is power and yeah, give us
Exactly.
access. to that
Yeah, man.
knowledge. And as I said, I'm not a goat expert. I've learned from the expert, but I teach a local business. I'm hope some may have contributed some knowledge to them from that side,
No, trust me,
business side.
your business knowledge is invaluable. Trust me, I've learned a lot. You know what I mean? From things that you said tonight and approach to
Respect.
things. You know what I mean? I've learned a lot. And I'm sure that a lot of people up here is going to be saying the same thing. I guarantee you, people are going to be sending me tons of messaging saying, yo, this was ridiculously amazing. You know what I mean?
Respect, my king.
And I appreciate it. And this weekend, right now, is the 1 year anniversary of us doing
Yeah, the
this.
13th. The 13th of April is a
For us, it's
2 year,
1 year.
2 year,
No, for
2019 I buy the first goat. 13th
yeah,
of
but
April 2019.
for the show, this weekend is 1 year since we're doing
Oh,
it.
so you gonna 1 year anniversary? Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
I mean,
congratulations, man.
yes, man.
Congratulations.
And I thought we were
Yeah.
just doing it for a couple months to connect with some farmers while we're locked down, but it turns into a real valuable platform for farmers, and we just keep it going. And I appreciate and respect everybody who participate in this, whether it's 10 people, 100 people, 200 people. It doesn't matter. We're here every Saturday unless we're acknowledging some religious holidays or something, or we just take the weekend off. But we're here to share the knowledge and share the information. And thanks for everybody who participate and show up every Saturday. Thanks, Damion, for doing
I have
this.
one more
I
thing for say, my
appreciate it.
brother.
Yeah, man. Close it off
You
with whatever you
see,
got to
what
say.
me that love to see when we open back is that
Hmm.
we have a goat festival we can rotate, so we can have
True.
people that come and experience that. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And trust me, because we already talk about doing a Cabra Fest. Like we talked
Mm.
about that. I know Howard does his Middleton thing in St. Thomas every year. So we could definitely do that because I think it would be an amazing thing for us to just go around and experience, you know what I
Yeah,
mean,
man.
the parish, and
Definite.
every farmer is sitting there come at a Cabra Fest or a year thing, and we just, people come from all over the country to that spot to experience what we do in St. Mary. We go to St. Thomas and experience what them are
And
doing
we
at
just
St.
go
Thomas.
support each other.
Yeah, we support
Man
each
buy him
other.
stall and him doing
Yes,
thing. And we show
exactly.
people the many different ways
It
that mutton
is.
can be consumed.
Exactly. Because trust me, truly, he's been cooking some serious dishes in some Haitian dishes in a goat
I get
meat.
a barbecue goat ribs, I tell you, say I'm mad.
Yo, I tell you, trust me. And I say, oh, it comes to make a holy cooked curry goat.
Yeah,
Goat meat
yeah,
can eat
yeah.
in so many different ways. It's crazy. But I appreciate it. Thanks again. And thanks everybody for tuning in. And we'll see you guys next week again. Thank you very much.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Love, big up to
Yeah,
you as
man.
well. Take
Respect.
care and thanks for
Yeah,
the
man.
opportunity.
All right, man. Respect.
Yeah.
Thanks.